They tell you it's a theory. They tell you it's fiction, the ramblings of the deluded, the paranoid fringes of society. They tell you that your thoughts are your own, that your free will is inviolable, an inherent right of every human being. But what if they were lying? What if, beneath the carefully constructed veneer of democracy and freedom, there exists a clandestine war for your very mind? A war waged by those sworn to protect you using technologies so advanced, so insidious, that they defy comprehension, even belief. Tonight, we pull back the curtain on one of the most chilling government programs ever conceived. A program so deeply buried, so meticulously erased from public record, that its very mention sends shivers down the spines of those who know the truth. We are talking about Project Pandora, and it is real. For decades, the whispers have echoed in the forgotten corners of the internet, in hushed conversations among researchers labeled as eccentrics, in the frantic warnings of whistleblowers dismissed as unstable. The idea that governments could manipulate thoughts, control emotions, or even implant suggestions directly into the human psyche has been relegated to science fiction, a dystopian fantasy. Yet, history tells a different story. A story of relentless pursuit by intelligence agencies, driven by the insatiable hunger for ultimate control. Before we delve into the dark heart of Project Pandora, we must first understand the landscape upon which it was built. The concept of mind control, while seemingly futuristic, has roots in some of the darkest chapters of the 20th century. Think back to the infamous MKUltra, a CIA program exposed in the 1970s. This wasn't some isolated incident. It was a vast, sprawling network of experiments, often conducted on unsuspecting citizens, involving drugs, hypnosis, sensory deprivation, and psychological torture. Its stated goal? To develop techniques for interrogation, propaganda, and yes, mind control. The official narrative claims MKUltra was shut down, its files destroyed. But any critical thinker knows that intelligence agencies don't simply abandon decades of research into such a powerful tool. They merely rebrand, refine, and drive deeper underground. MKUltra was just the tip of a much larger, more terrifying iceberg. Before it, there was Project Artichoke, Project Bluebird, and countless other euphemistically named operations, all sharing a common, sinister objective: to unlock the secrets of the human mind, not for healing or understanding, but for domination. These early programs, crude as they might seem by today's standards, laid the groundwork. They proved that the human mind, far from being an impenetrable fortress, was a surprisingly malleable battleground. They demonstrated that with the right techniques, a person's identity, memories, and even their core beliefs could be fractured, rewritten, or completely erased. The ethical boundaries were not merely crossed. They were obliterated, dismissed as inconvenient obstacles in the relentless pursuit of ultimate power. This historical context is crucial because it establishes a precedent. It shows us that the idea of government-sponsored mind control is not a novel concept, but a long-standing, deeply entrenched ambition within the intelligence community. They have been trying to crack the code of consciousness for generations, and with Project Pandora, they didn't just crack it. They shattered it into 1,000 pieces and reassembled it in their own image. So, what exactly is Project Pandora? While the official records remain conspicuously silent, buried under layers of classification and deliberate misinformation, a mosaic of leaked documents, whistleblower testimonies, and circumstantial evidence paints a chilling picture. Project Pandora is not merely an extension of MKUltra. It is its terrifying evolution. It represents a quantum leap in the technology and methodology of mind control, moving beyond crude drugs and hypnosis to exploit the very electromagnetic frequencies that govern our brains. At its core, Project Pandora is an umbrella program designed to achieve remote, non-consensual neuroinfluence. That's a fancy term for being able to control your thoughts, emotions, and even physical actions without your knowledge or consent from a distance. Imagine a world where your deepest convictions are not your own, where the anger you feel, the political opinions you hold, the very desires that drive you are carefully orchestrated by an unseen hand. This is the world Project Pandora aims to create, or perhaps has already created. The technological arsenal allegedly employed by Project Pandora is truly unsettling. We're talking about sophisticated directed energy weapons, not the kind that blast holes through walls, but those that precisely target the delicate bioelectrical architecture of the human brain. These are devices capable of emitting pulsed electromagnetic frequencies, microwave radiation, and even infrasound, all tuned to specific brainwave patterns. The goal? To induce a variety of effects, from extreme fatigue and disorientation to profound psychological distress, memory manipulation, and even the implantation of false memories or suggestions. Consider the potential applications. Imagine a targeted individual, someone deemed a threat to the established order, a dissident, a whistleblower, or even just an inconvenient truth-teller. Project Pandora could, theoretically, be used to systematically dismantle their mental faculties, induce paranoia, trigger debilitating anxiety attacks, disrupt their sleep patterns, erode their cognitive abilities, and ultimately render them ineffective, discredited, or even institutionalized. All without a single physical mark, without leaving any traceable evidence of external interference. The perfect crime in the realm of the mind. But Project Pandora's ambitions extend far beyond individual targeting. The truly terrifying aspect, the one that should send a cold dread through every thinking person, is its alleged capacity for mass neuroinfluence. Imagine modulating the collective consciousness of an entire population. Imagine subtly shifting public opinion on a critical issue, fostering division, or inciting irrational fear, all through the unseen manipulation of electromagnetic fields pervading our environment. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the logical progression of a program that has spent decades perfecting the art of psychological warfare. How could such a program operate on a mass scale? The answer lies in the very fabric of our modern world. Our cities are saturated with electromagnetic radiation from cell towers, Wi-Fi networks, and countless other wireless technologies. What if some of these seemingly innocuous infrastructures are, or could be, repurposed? What if the very airwaves we rely on for communication are being weaponized, used as conduits for frequencies designed to subtly alter our collective state of mind? The idea is horrifying, but in the context of a government program like Pandora, it becomes a chillingly plausible scenario. Think about the sudden, inexplicable shifts in public sentiment that we've witnessed. The rapid polarization, the seemingly irrational adherence to certain ideologies, the ease with which certain narratives gain traction while others are dismissed out of hand. Could these be organic phenomena, or are we witnessing the subtle, pervasive effects of a program designed to shape our perceptions, to guide our thoughts along predetermined pathways? Project Pandora operates in the shadows, its influence diffuse, its effects often mistaken for natural human behavior or societal trends. This is its genius and its horror. The why behind Project Pandora is perhaps even more disturbing than the how. Why? Would any government seek such absolute control over its own citizens? The answer, as always, lies in power. Unchecked, absolute power. In an increasingly complex and volatile world, where traditional methods of control are becoming less effective, the ability to directly influence thought and emotion offers an unparalleled advantage. It's about maintaining the status quo, crushing dissent before it can even form, ensuring compliance, and ultimately, shaping the very future of humanity according to a select few's agenda. It's about total societal engineering. Imagine being able to subtly encourage consumerism, discourage critical thinking, or promote obedience to authority figures. Imagine being able to damp down revolutionary fervor or amplify social divisions to prevent unified opposition. The possibilities for manipulation are endless, and the implications for human freedom are catastrophic. Project Pandora represents the ultimate threat to individual autonomy, transforming citizens into unwitting puppets, their strings pulled by an unseen master. Let's delve deeper into the alleged mechanisms. Project Pandora is said to leverage advancements in neurobiology, psychology, and quantum physics. It's not just about blasting brains with microwaves. It's about precision. Imagine mapping the intricate neural pathways associated with specific emotions, memories, or behaviors. Then, imagine being able to remotely stimulate or suppress those pathways using incredibly precise electromagnetic pulses. This is the terrifying frontier that Project Pandora is rumored to have breached. We've heard whispers of technologies that can read brainwaves from a distance, translating thoughts into digital data. If such technology exists, then the logical next step is to write back into the brain, to implant ideas, suggestions, or even entire thought patterns directly into the mind of an unsuspecting individual. This isn't just mind control. It's thought implantation, a direct violation of the very sanctuary of personal consciousness. Consider the implications for elections. If public opinion can be subtly swayed, if voters can be made to feel a certain way about a candidate or a policy without conscious awareness, then democracy itself becomes a charade. The illusion of choice remains, but the underlying decision-making process is compromised, influenced by unseen forces. This isn't about rigging ballot boxes. It's about rigging the minds that fill them. What about social unrest? We've seen periods of intense societal polarization, inexplicable outbreaks of anger or fear that seem to sweep through populations with viral speed. While many factors contribute to such phenomena, could Project Pandora be an accelerant? Could it be used to amplify existing tensions, to push populations towards a desired emotional state that serves a specific agenda? The idea that our collective emotions could be weaponized, used against us, is profoundly disturbing. Of course, the official narrative will dismiss all of this as pure fantasy, the product of overactive imaginations. They will tell you that there's no evidence, no proof. But the very nature of Project Pandora is its invisibility. Its success depends on its secrecy, on its ability to operate without leaving a trace. How do you prove something that is designed to leave no physical mark, to be indistinguishable from your own thoughts? This is the insidious genius of Pandora. It weaponizes the very doubt it creates. However, the evidence, while circumstantial, is compelling for those willing to look beyond the mainstream curtain. There are the testimonies of individuals who claim to be targeted, experiencing inexplicable symptoms, persistent ringing in the ears, sudden onset of anxiety or depression, forced thoughts, vivid and disturbing dreams, and even physical sensations that defy medical explanation. These individuals, often dismissed as mentally ill, paint a consistent picture of remote manipulation, a systematic psychological assault. While their individual stories can be easily discredited, the sheer volume and consistency of these accounts, spanning decades and continents, begin to form a pattern too significant to ignore. Then there are the declassified documents, often heavily redacted, from programs like MKUltra, which, when pieced together, reveal an undeniable interest in directed energy weapons and neuro-influence. While Project Pandora itself is never mentioned by name in these public documents, the scientific and ethical precedents are laid bare. We know they were experimenting with these technologies. We know they were interested in controlling the mind. To believe they simply stopped, that they abandoned decades of highly funded research, is to be incredibly naive. Furthermore, There are the cryptic statements from former intelligence officials, scientists, and military personnel who, while never explicitly confirming Project Pandora, have hinted at the existence of advanced, clandestine mind-altering technologies. They speak in veiled terms, using euphemisms and suggestive language, but the underlying message is clear. Something is happening behind the scenes, something far beyond the public's comprehension. These individuals, often speaking at great personal risk, add another layer of credibility to the claims. Consider the rapid advancements in neuroscience and brain-computer interfaces. We see headlines about prosthetics controlled by thought, about implants that can restore sight or hearing. These are public, overt advancements. But what about the black budget programs? What about the classified research conducted in the deepest, darkest corners of the military-industrial complex? It is a historical certainty that cutting-edge technology, especially that with potential military or intelligence applications, is developed in secret long before it ever sees the light of day, if it ever does. Project Pandora is simply the logical, terrifying culmination of these hidden advancements, weaponized for control. The very idea of free will is under assault. If external forces can influence our thoughts, our desires, our fears, then where does our autonomy truly lie? Are we merely biological machines, susceptible to manipulation by those who understand the right frequencies, the right psychological triggers? This is the profound philosophical and existential crisis that Project Pandora forces us to confront. It challenges the very essence of what it means to be human, to be an individual with agency and self-determination. The implications for a free society are catastrophic. A society whose thoughts can be remotely guided, whose emotions can be subtly engineered, is not a free society at all. It is a controlled experiment, a vast psychological prison where the bars are invisible and the guards are unseen. The illusion of freedom remains, but the reality is one of profound, systemic enslavement. But what can be done in the face of such a formidable, invisible foe? The first step, and arguably the most crucial, is awareness. To understand that this threat is real, that it is not confined to the pages of a dystopian novel, but is actively shaping our world. We must shed the naive belief that our governments always act in our best interest or that such technologies are impossible. History, recent advancements, and the sheer persistence of these allegations demand a more critical, more vigilant perspective. We must question everything. Question the narratives presented by mainstream media. Question the sudden shifts in public opinion. Question the inexplicable outbreaks of social division. Look for patterns, for anomalies that defy conventional explanation. Develop your own critical thinking skills. Hone your ability to discern truth from manufactured consensus. This is your most powerful defense against a program like Pandora. Beyond individual awareness, there is the urgent need for collective vigilance. We must demand transparency from our governments, accountability from our intelligence agencies. We must support independent journalism and research that dares to challenge the official narrative. We must foster communities of critical thinkers who refuse to be silenced or dismissed. The only way to expose something so deeply hidden is through a collective, unwavering commitment to truth. Protect your mind. In an age where information is weaponized and perception is manipulated, the sanctity of your own thoughts is paramount. Engage in practices that strengthen your mental resilience, cultivate independent thought, and question your own biases. Do not allow external forces to dictate your emotional state or your core beliefs. Recognize that your mind is the ultimate battleground and you are its primary defender. Project Pandora is not a theory. It is a chilling reality, a testament to the insatiable human desire for control, amplified by technological advancement. It represents the ultimate weapon, not against bodies, but against minds. It seeks to subjugate humanity from within to transform us into compliant, predictable components of a system designed by an elite few. But the human spirit, the drive for freedom, for truth, for self-determination, is a powerful force. It is a force that they underestimated. By speaking about this, by acknowledging its existence, by daring to question the official silence, we begin to dismantle the very foundations of Project Pandora. We strip away its most potent weapon, secrecy. We ignite the fires of awareness, and with awareness comes the potential for resistance. The fight for our minds, for our very souls, has already begun. It is time we recognized the enemy, understood their tactics, and united in defense of our most precious possession, our own free will. The truth is out there, not hidden in plain sight, but buried under layers of official denial and carefully crafted narratives. It's up to each of us to dig it out, to share it, and to demand that the darkness of Project Pandora be finally brought into the light. Because if we don't, the price will be our very humanity. If you found this information disturbing, illuminating, or simply provoked your own critical thought, then you understand the importance of spreading awareness. Don't let this knowledge be buried again. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel for more deep dives into the shadows of power, and join our community of truth seekers. Your engagement is our greatest weapon against their lies.